Om. 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 Om Shri Mahaganapate Namaha. Om Shri Saraswatye Namaha. Sadashiva Samarambham Vyasa Shankara Madhyamam Asmadacharya Paryantam Vande Guru Paramparam Vande Guru Paramparam. Om Shri Tapona Sishyaya Namaha. Om Shri Chinmaya Sadgurave Namaha. So let us chant the Shanti Mantra for Kenopanishad first, as per the normal practice. Om Apyayantu Mamangani Vak Pranaschakshrotramatho Balamindriyani Cha Sarvani Sarvam Brahma Upanishadam Maham Brahma Nirakuryam Ma Brahma Nirakarot Anirakaranam me Atmani Nirate Ya Upanishadsu te mayi santu Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om. Now we are about to start the third chapter of Kenopanishad. First chapter, if you want to briefly say what its essence is, by whom is all this show going on? One sentence. Kena. By whom all this show that we see, who connects everything within our memory as well as outside, who is that by whom that show is going on? That's the first chapter essence. The answer for that was, we have seen Sotrasya Srotram, ear of the ear, Manaso Manoyatu, mind of the mind, Vachoha Vacham, speech of the speech. Like that it goes on. Again, very next mantra it says, Na chakshur gachati, na vag gachati. That principle which connects the whole show, there eyes cannot go, speech cannot go. That's how we kind of defined it. But there is one. What is that? Eye of the eye, Srotrasya Sotram, ear of the ear. So it is basically an interior principle that connects everything universally present. But it is the subject. Srotrasya Srotram, Manasya Manaha. So, but eyes cannot go there, speech cannot go there. That is how it left. And of course, it gives some more explanation. Now, second chapter, if you want to summarize the whole thing, it is seek Atman. That is the summary of the whole thing. And we saw fourth and fifth mantra very elaborately. Pratibodha viditam madam, pratibodha viditam matam, murtatvam hi vindate, atmana vindate viryam, vidyaya vindate amrutam. That is, seek, how to seek that Atman, that consciousness principle. It is given. In every experience, that is the only thing that is really present. Pratibodha viditam matam amrutatvam hi vindate. You know, in all experiences of body, mind, or intellect, really speaking, consciousness only is being witnessed. Rest of it is like a virtual appearance. Those who know it, Atmana vindate viryam. Those who have clear mind, who have what do you call patratvam, which is required qualifications, they experience it as the play of God because they do not mind, they do not react. They see it as it is, as the vastu as it is. And that becomes very natural to them. That is the second chapter. The second chapter, in quick summary. Now, third chapter, if you have to ask you a quick summary, the third chapter is the essence of everything is Atman, or consciousness. The essence. What do you mean by essence? Of course, a simple English word, but in the context where we are talking, it needs to be properly put into perspective. Suppose if I ask the cloth, who are you? Cloth might say, I am the cloth. But then I will explain to it, yes, you are cloth, no doubt, but you are the cotton behind it. Because all cloths in the world, by and large, if it is a cotton, made of cotton, is cotton first. Now, if this particular shirt didn't understand it, it is still cotton, but it just didn't understand. That's it. So what is the support of this? Cotton. In the same way, the support or the essence, I'm trying to explain what essence means. The essence of wave is water. Wave might ask a question, who am I? Then a guru or a sage might tell you, you are water. But it has always been in water, so it has a problem seeing it as itself. It will only look at the shape, it will look at I'm big, I'm small, like that, but it is not able to see itself. It's only possible when it does not define itself in objectification, by objectification. If you remember, how does that happen in our case? I have given you 5 indicators. How do we notice ourselves as Atman? How do we search if we have to search? First of all, it is not an object of search or a thought because it is subject. That's number one. Number two, I mentioned, it does not change. As subject, it does not change. As body, it might change. As mind, it might change. As thoughts, it might change. But as itself, it remains as it is. Objectless, pure awareness. Number three, it is permanent. As Atman, as the consciousness that is witness or by itself in pure being, it is changeless. Changes are only at the mental level. It's like a waking dream, deep sleep. It is witnessed unaffected by them, in and through them. But we only see the effects, not the cause. Effects means we get caught up in the thoughts of the objects. So I defined earlier, thought is nothing but consciousness plus an object plus our projection on it. Because of the projection, the object appears different. The projection is dropped, object and consciousness are actually one. Because everything rises in consciousness and plays as consciousness within consciousness. So if you are able to withdraw from the commentary of your vasanas or your projecting mind, you experience it all the time. You can also experience it all the time, even when the movements are taking place in your consciousness, because you are not attached to them, because there is no commentary. So it is permanently present. And 4 and 5 are extremely important. It is permanently, not only is all pervading sentiency, which lends sentiency to body, mind, and intellect. If you take body, mind, intellect, they do. If they take consciousness out, body, mind, intellect really have no existence. So it is Sat Chit, existence and consciousness principle. Number four. Number five is it is not a consciousness, is not a product of this body or part of a body or property of this body. Because most of the scientists look like as a product of the conscious product of the mind. It's not. That's why they only stop at the mind level. It's always thoughts only. So just like when you take water out of the wave, there's no wave. In the same way, when consciousness is taken out of the anything in the universe, it ceases to exist. So it's Sat means that. Sat Chit. And in living beings, they cease to be alive. Okay. So this is a very quick introduction of first and second chapter. And third chapter is focuses on the subject, as I mentioned, is construction is the subject matter, subject of everything. And that's a water is the subject of wave. Frequently, people are also give example of gold is the subject or the essence of ornament. If you take the gold out, there is no ornament. In the same way, if you take the cotton out, there is no cloth. So it's so important. Without that, we do not have existence also. So Shankaracharya, in the beginning of third chapter, he writes a very elaborate commentary. And he actually introduces concept of Ishvara, God, in this Upanishad. That's not new, but Bhagavan Shankaracharya has written an elaborate commentary. The third chapter relates to Ishvara. First two chapters are primarily focused on knowledge part, Amrutatvam part. Here, Amrutatvam is, for those who have already have pretty good idea, it is Nirakara Nirguna Swarupa. It is you. It is total bliss. It has no specific limitations. Nirakara. So to visualize. Nirguna. Qualities are all taken out. When you have qualities, it is the body mind intellect. Sat, Raja, Tama, like that. Tall, short, all this thing only. So Nirakara Nirguna Tattva. Now, Nirakara Nirguna Tattva is fine when you are highly qualified because you don't need a support. You understand who you are, so all the mental projections you drop, and you don't have any limitations at that point. For them, it is not that complicated. But 99.99% of the people, they need a support to start with. So, in Kenopanishad, they introduce the support very interestingly in the form of a story. That support is now becomes, it is Saguna Nirakara. It has no specific form as an animal or as a Ganesha, as Vishnu, 4 hands and Chakra, Shankar Chakra Gada, all those things, a Padma. But it is Nirakara, but Saguna. Saguna means all pervading, all powerful, like that Vishnu. Like that, there is some guna are there. These are done in order that average people who cannot relate to the Nirguna Nirakara can have a starting point. And that gives you support for our spiritual progress. Because we are limited in our power. When we hear something with infinite power, that is quality, Saguna, that gives us support. Our infinite wisdom, that gives us support. He will take care of you. So, third chapter of Kenopanishad very beautifully introduces the concept of Ishvara, as I mentioned, Saguna Nirakara. And also, this particular gives us a beautiful story, which is very fantastic story. And in one of my assignments in earlier, we did a play on this also. Swami Tejomayanji suggested, when I first heard Kenopanishad from him, he mentioned that in the stage. So we did it on the stage with the Balihar children. So with that quick introduction, we'll go to chapter 3. First mantra. So Kenopanishad is primarily in prose form. Here and there are some mantras which are a little bit, they can be sung as mantra, as a poem, but most of it is in prose form. So this is in a prose form. Brahma devebhyo vijigye tasya brahmano vijay yanta taikshanta asmakam eva ayam vijaya asmakam eva ayam mahime iti mahima iti. I am repeating it again. Brahma devebhyo vijigye tasya brahmano vijaye devah amahiyanta taikshanta asmakam eva ayam vijaya asmakam eva ayam mahimeti. Brahma devebhyo vijigye. There are, okay, in order to make it interesting, I'll kind of add some, examples, daily examples, like a cricket match or something, so that you can have more connection to the story. Okay. But it's not here. Okay. Brahma devebhyo vijigye. Devatas. Indradi devatas. Agni, Vayu, like that. Devatas. For those devatas, Brahma devebhyo vijigye. He gave them a victory over asuras. The Upanishads stories are in a very, very crisp and brief. They don't have too much language. Many words we have to supply. Okay, here asuras are not mentioned. Okay, but because the fact that it's Deva, for Devatas, he won something. So it must be asuras like that. So a lot of filling the blanks has to be done, and commentators do that for us. And then we add some stories in order to make it more interesting, examples like that from when we teach. So the victory was actually possible because of Brahman. Brahma. See, Brahman. Tasya brahmano vijaye devaha amahiyanta. Tasya, in that victory of Bhagavan, Brahmana, Devaha were very, very happy. Amahiyanta. They became extremely thrilled. Brahmana Vijay, Devas have become very thrilled because they took the ownership. They felt, I won it, we won it. Ta aikshanta asmakam eva vijayaha. Ta with the sandhi, it becomes ta, it actually te. De sahataute, de aikshanta asmakam eva ayam vijayaha. This victory is ours. That's how they saw it. Just like we see it all the time. Asmakam eva ayam mahima iti. This is due to our power. Mahima means our glory, our power. So they have become very, very, very proud. But the fact of the matter is, here Brahmana devebhyo vijigye. God has caused this victory for them. The fact that God has caused a victory for them, it becomes Saguna Brahman. Okay, earlier Nirakara Nirguna, first two chapters, here Saguna, because he has given them a victory. Because they qualified. Karma Phala Data. Karma Phala Data. So he's the Brahman. You can call Brahman God. You can use God in this context. Now, people, when they become proud, they realize, they do not realize they're actually connected to the Amrutattva, which has first enabled them to every function in them to actually exert its energy through the life. So, Devatas are considered to be Sattvic. Asuras are considered to be Tamasic. We are in the middle. Okay. So, even Devatas are also became arrogant like this. To teach them a lesson. So, we go to mantra number 2. Next. Okay, that's correct. Tadhesham Tayekshanta Asmakam Eva. This is still, go to next one. I think they've broken it up. Go to next one. This is, no. Go back again. Yeah, Tadesham, second line. Tadesham Vijajnau Tebhyoha Pradur Babhuva Tanna Vijanata Kimidam Yakshamiti. I will read again. Tadesham Vijajnau Tebhyoha Pradur Babhuva Tanna Vijanata Kimidam Yakshamiti. Tadhesham, Tadhaisham, Da and under Da again. Tadhaisham, Tat Ha Esham, Vijijnau, Tebhyo Ha Pradur Babhuva. Bhagavan saw this, that these people have become arrogant. He saw this. Vijijnau means he figured it out. He realized it. Tebhyoha pradur babhuva. In front of them, he appeared. Pradur babhuva means near them, but not too far, but not too close. Babhuva, he appeared. How did he appear? Next. Tanna Vijanata. That appearance, na Vijanata. Devatas do not know what it is. Na Vijanata. They did not know what it is. Kimidam Yakshamiti. That brilliant body of existence, it is not with a particular form that we know, but it is a brilliant spatial existence. Yaksha, it is called. Yaksha means pujaniya, worshipful, deserves worship, magnificent. As soon as we see it, this is something highly spiritual. That sense of feeling they all got is something worth investigating. So, Tanna Vijanata Kim Idam Yaksham Iti. They did not know what is that Yaksha is. Okay. Mantra number 3. Te Agni Mabruvan Jata Veda Etadvijanihi Kimetad Yaksham Iti Tadheti. Just a simple language, but it's Sanskrit prose. That's why it feels a little bit different. So what they said is, Te Agnim Abruvan. They told Agni, Hey Jataveda, Etat Vijanihi. Please find out what it is. Kim Etat. What is this? What it is, please find out. Kim Etat Yaksham Iti. Please find out what is this Yaksha is. Agni said, Tadha iti. Okay, I will. That's how it goes. It's a simple prose, moves very fast. But here, first, they means devatas. So basically, you can say they had a gathering, they had a group meeting, you can say. See, this is how Upanishad would not say all this. In fact, some people say this is the first instance of avatara in the whole Vedic literature. Who knows? But some people actually say, unlike sir, they explain every word, every person, every victory in a very broad way, chapters after chapters. In Upanishad, the story is brief and condensed. He appeared, they did not know what it is. They gathered immediately and then they said, Agni, you please go and find out. Now, Agni has interesting qualification. That's why they first selected him. Agra Agami iti Agnihi. Agni always is a leader. He goes in the front. Many of us know in Havan, we offer through Agni. Agni carries to Devatas. So it's the most qualified courier service that we all know. Also here they say, Agnim Abruvan Jataveda. They also call him Jataveda. Jataveda means Jatam Jatam Veti iti Jataveda. Jatam Jatam, whatever is born, means whole, everything in the universe. Veti iti Jataveda. So Agni is supposed to know everything is born. So it's almost telling you are supposed to know it. If you also don't know, you find out. This other also can say. So then Agni said, Kim etat yakshamiti, find out what is this yaksha is. That's what they said. Tadha iti. Agni said, okay, tadha iti. I will do it. I will go. I will follow it. That's all. So see how many word sentences are there in one small thing, brief thing. That's how Upanishad stories are. Okay. Number 4. Good. Tadabhya dravat tadabhya vadat tam abhyavadat kosi iti agnirva ahamasmi iti abravit jataveda va ahamasmi iti. I will read it again. Tadabhya dravatu tam abhyavadat ko asi iti agnihi va ahamasmi iti abravit jataveda va ahamasmi iti. Okay, now I will explain this. Tad abhyadravat. To Yaksha, Agni went fast. Abhyadravat. He went fast. Tam abhyavadat ko asi. Now here there is a problem. Agni is supposed to be most famous. Like it's like a number 1 cricketer in the world. He goes with, he pads up, he wears helmet, he does all things, and he practices in the dugout for a long time. and then he starts, warming up, and then he, suddenly his turn comes, he walks, he goes there, and then suddenly they say, "Who are you?" Go see. So as soon as he saw Agni, first sentence, Agni didn't even get a chance to start. The Yaksha asked him, "Go see, who are you?" So this is right away great insult. What can you do? But he went for the job, so he had to explain. Now, for him, it is insult. So he immediately he raised his collar and said, Agnihi, I am Agni. Aham Agnihi, Aham Asmi. Jatavedava. I am also called Jataveda. Jataveda means all knowing. You don't know me? As though it is a big insult for him. Jataveda Aham Asmi. I am the all knowing Agni, he said. So, okay. So now we come to bat. Come on. So this fellow takes a position and all that, just like if you cricket example, if you give it. It's not done yet. The Yaksha asks him, mantra number 5. Asmin tvai kim viryamiti api idam sarvam daheyam yedidam pruthivyam iti. Tasmin tvai kim viryamiti api idam sarvam daheyam yedidam pruthivyam iti. Agni now answers. Before, first he asked him, who are you? He said, I am Agni, I am also known as Jataveda. The why here, why is the emphasis. I am Jataveda. I know everything. Now here saying, the Yaksha is asking one more question. Oh, you are Agni, Jataveda? Okay. Tasmin tvai kim viryamiti? What is your strength? Viryam means your power. What is your power that makes you so great? Because Jataveda, Agni, you have said all these titles, Padma Shri, Padma Vibhushan, all these things. He's through all these titles. Suddenly Agni said, oh, Aksha said, oh, what is your strength? What is your power? What makes you great? Suddenly he asked him, Tasmin tvai kim viryamiti? In such a you, what is the specialness, viryam? Then this is even another insult. Agni himself, that too, Arjuna immediately replies, Idam sarvam api, in this, whatever you see, yadidam, whatever it is, daheyam, I burn it out. Pruthivyam, whatever is there in this earth, I burn it out. I can burn. That is my virya. Sarvam daheyam edidam pruthivyam iti. Iti means he said, quote unquote, in Sanskrit. Whatever is can be burned, in Prithvi, I can burn it off. That's it. Oh, this Yaksha said, wow, of course. Okay, let us test you. Agni, he's testing Agni. So number 6. Tasmai trunam nidadhau Tasmai trunam nidadhau etad daheti tadu preyaya sarvajavena tanna sashaka dagdhum satata eva nivavrute naika dasakam vijnatum yadetat yakshamiti. I will read it again. Tasmai trunam nidhathau etat daheti tadupapreyaya sarvajavena tanna sashaka dagdhum satata eva nivavrute naita dasha na etat Asakam Vijnatum Yadetat Yaksham iti. I am breaking it. That makes it easy for understanding it. So look, this is fascinating here. The Yaksha took a small blade of grass. Some people jokingly say it is even dry grass. That's not mentioned here. Trunam, dry grass, a blade of grass. He just took it from Etat daha iti. Please, if you are so powerful, you can burn everything in this world, whatever it is there. Etat daha. You burn this, and he put it in front of you. What an insult. Tadupapreyaya. Agni, fast. He went there. Oh, this is a piece of cake. He went fast. Upapreyaya, he approached it. Sarvajavena, with full speed and will power, full energy, he just got there. Tanna sasaka dadhum. Agni increase the temperature, increase. Tanna sasaka dadhum. He could not burn it. Truna, just a blade of grass. He kept on increasing all his temperature, whatever Shakti he has. Tanna sasaka dadhum. He did not, he was not capable to burn it. Saha tata eva nivavrute. Saha here Agni, tataha from there, nivavrute, he went back. Clean ball, first ball. He made all of California coming there, looking around, batting and adjusting his helmet and all these things, and then turning around and then looking at all the fielders and everything, and then suddenly he was clean ball, first ball. He immediately put his head down and went back to the dugout. Tata eva nivavrute. He left, he went back. Na etat dasakam vijnatum yatetat yakshamiti. I did not know who that is, and he reported. Na etat vijnatum asakam yatetat yakshamiti. I could not figure out. I was unable to figure it out who it is. Who? Agni. How did he fail? He could not even burn a blade of grass in front of Brahman. Here, I will pause few minutes, not pause, slow down a little bit and put it into perspective what is happening here. Chakshusas chakshuhu, eye of the eye is God. Agni of Agni is God. If God himself removes the Agniness, Agni is not Agni. It is just a name. Agni did not know that his power is Brahman itself. Our existence, every molecule, every thought, every feeling is possible because of the God's blessing behind it. When we do not acknowledge, when we forget God's glory, we become victim of our arrogance. Luckily, these are devatas. At least they have a chance. That's why Bhagavan himself came down as Avatara. For people like us, mixed sattva and tamas, naturally, we are not in most cases fit. This will come in fourth chapter. Even what we have to do also. It comes in the fourth chapter, which is important. So the basic point here is waterness of water, heat of fire is God. Material of matter is God. So many of you might have read or heard chapter 10 of Bhagavad Gita. It's entirely vibhuti of God. Even chapter 7 also, you might have Rasohamapsu Kaunteya Prabhasmisya Suryayoho Pranavas Sarva Vedeshu Sabdapke Paurusham Rushu. Bhagavan says clearly, Rasohamapsu Kaunteya, the taste, the ability to provide taste in water is mine. If you take out that, there's no taste. Prabhasmisya Suryayoho, I am the light in sun and moon. Of course, moon is reflected light, still light. If you take out the light of the sun, there's no sun. Pranavas Sarva Vedeshu. This is chapter 7. So in Vibhuti, everything is God itself, himself, herself. When we leave consciousness but get caught up in thought world, like ahamkara, mamakara, we get these disappointments in life, regrets, sorrows, frustrations, depressions, all these things. And correspondingly, we do get some lessons in life. If we are capable of connecting with them, you learn out of it. What about us? Even Agni. Agni is supposed to be the power behind our speech. Fiery speech, we say. Agni is where. That also could not even burn a blade of grass when God decided, let me remove Agniness from Agni. Now, of course, these devatas, they have a problem now. So, mantra number 7. First batsman is a duckout, first ball, clean ball. So what do? Obviously, they said the next batsman. Atha Vayum Abruvan. Okay, let me read first. Atha Vayum Abruvan Vayavetatu Vijanihi Kimetatu Yakshamiti. Read it. Atha Vayum Abruvan Vayo Etad Vijanihi Kimetat Yaksham iti Tatheti. Adha, next. Vayum Abruvan. They told Vayu Devata. Abruvan means they told Vayu. Vayo Etat Vijanihi Kimetat. Hey Vayo, go and find out Kimetat Vijanihi. You go and find out what it is. Kimetat Yaksham iti. Fine. What is this Yaksha? You please find out. And they send Vayu. Tatheti. Vayu said, okay, I will do it. Second batsman is not going. He's also a famous world-class batsman, obviously. He comes with a lot of Padma Shris, Padma Bhushana, Padma Vibhushana, Bharata Ratna, whatever you call, all these things he has. But now he's all this pride online. He's even more excited because Agni has failed. So I have a better chance to prove myself. Number 8. Sloka, mantra number 8. Tadabhyadravatu, mantra number 8. Okay. Tadabhyadravatu, sorry. Tadabhyadravatu, tam abhyavadatu, ko asi iti, vayurva ahamasmi iti, अब्रवीन् मातरिश्वा वा अहमस्मि इति तदभ्यद्रवतु तम् अभ्यवदतु को असि इति वायु वा अहमस्मि इति अब्रवीतु मातरिश्वा वा अहमस्मि इति. These are all so just prose only. I am breaking it because I can also at the same time make it clear to you guys. When you tad abhyadravat. Vayu, that means towards that abhyadravat. He moved fast. Of course, Vayu, he's the, Tam abhyavadat. Then the Yaksha, Tam means here Vayu. Abhyavadat. He's immediately asked him. He didn't give him a chance to Vayu. Vayu is full of air, He just came there, he breathless maybe. Before he took the first breath and started to say something, Yaksha asked, just like he asked Agni, Ko asi, who are you? Then he said, Ko asi iti, who are you? Iti means quotations. So the Brahman, the Yaksha, here he called Yaksha, the brilliant space, asked, who are you? Vayurva ahamasmi iti abravit. I am called Vayu. Matarishvava. I'm also called Matarishva. His title. Matari means in space. Ashwat means the one who moves. So I pervade the whole space. Ahamasmi. So I am Vayu. I am also called Matarishva. Matari Ashwat. Matarishva. So very, very, very strong qualifications. Very, very good names. Now the same next question repeats. You can now you can imagine what the next question is. So the first bowler, second bowler, the bowler is again coming with the ball, swinging ball. Tasmin swaikim viryamiti apidam sarvam adadiya yedidam pudhivyam iti. He said, let me read it once again. Tasmin swaikim viryamiti apidam sarvam adadiya yedidam pudhivyam iti. Okay. Tasmin stay, as soon as he finished his description, I am Vayu, I am also Matarishva. As soon as he finished his description, before he took another breath, he said, shot a question. Oh, Tasmin tvai kim viryamiti? What is your specialness? So he said, I don't know who you are. Indirectly saying, who are you? Okay, it's good. You got a lot of titles. What is your greatness? What are you capable of? Tasmin tam viryamiti. What are you capable of? Iti. Api idam sarvam adadiya yedidam prithiviyam iti. Obviously, he got hurt. Immediately said, whatever is there on this earth, I can lift it and blow it off. See scenario, Agni also said the same thing because a track record. Vayu also, his track record. Anything in the on earth, whatever is, I can lift it and blow it off. Adadiya. Okay. Very good. Nice. Tasmai. Okay. Number 10. Tasmai trunam nidhadau etat आदत्स्वेति तदुपप्रेयाय सर्वजवेना तन्न शशाका दातुं सतत एव निववृते नैतदशकं नैतद् नैतदशकं विज्ञातुं यदेततु यक्षम् इति. I will read again. तस्मै तृणं निदधौ एतद् आदत्स्वेति तदुपप्रेयाय सर्वजवेन तन्न शशाका दातुं सतत एव निववृते नैतद् अशकं विज्ञातुं यदेतत् यक्षम् इति. तस्मै तृणं निदधौ. So in front of Vayu, Yaksha again put the same blade of grass. Nidadhau. But could be other blade of grass, but for fun I'm saying. The Agni, the one which Agni could not even what do you call create a small scar on it. It's still there. So he put it in front of him. Trunam, blade of grass. Nidadhau, again he put in front of him. Yetat adasva iti. Now, okay, if you have that capacity, yetat, in this blade of grass, you lift it and blow. Adastva iti, that's a quotation. Preyaya sarvajavena. Then Vayu reached it fast. Sarvajavena, with all his speed. Upapreyaya, he approached. Tad upapreyaya. Tanna sasaka adatum. Tan na sasaka adatum. Vayu could not lift it or blow it. Move it. Forget about blowing and lifting it. Could not even move it. Adatum means lift and blow. What can you do? He increase the speed. 1,000 cyclone. Whatever you can call it. Hurricane Helena, whatever. Everything. 1,000 times Helena. The grass is still there. Nasasyak. Tata eva nivavurute. Then what can you do? Clean ball, second ball. World famous best batsman. What good is it if God is not there behind? You remove the Shakti. Na etat nivavurute. Nivavrute. From there he left. Na etat shakam vijnatum yad etat yakshamiti. I could not find out what it is. He reported. So we will this class we want, before we go any further, we'll stop a little bit and then reflect upon what we have covered, because we covered almost 10 mantras. Whenever we feel arrogant, our kama, krodha, lobha, moha, mada, matsaryas, they overtake a pride. And then we consequently do not acknowledge, and we lose our Sthita Prajna Lakshana. Sthita Prajna means having wisdom that God is always connected to us. He is the real power. I am only an instrument of action. But when the instrument itself considered supreme, then sometimes it's important, God himself comes down and he takes the responsibility to educate if we are ready. See, in Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavan Krishna says, Bahuni me vyatitani janmani tavata Arjuna tanyam veda sarvani natvam vedha parantapa. Bhagavan chapter 4, in the beginning itself he says, I have taken many births and I know all of them. And the purpose of that is to establish dharma. Yada yada hi dharmasya jnanir bhavati bharata abhyudhana madharmasya tadatmanam sujamyam. Chapter 4 also it comes. God is actually, when the Brahman, Nirakara, Nirguna, if you look at it as a matrix, all-pervading infinite matrix, it also has responsibility within it to protect other elements inside it. That is Ishvara. So Bhagavan mentions Bhagavatam has many avatars. Normally we will Dasavatara, but there are hundreds of avatars in various forms, various times. Even so, as inspiration, sometimes they come also, just for a fraction of a second. They go. It comes in chapter 4 of this Upanishad. Without that interference of Bhagavan and to constantly remind us his presence, we become worse. But when we are ready, we are also elements in that matrix. We get the message. The message sometimes requires some punishment. In this case, remove the garva bhanga, it is called. So God is not totally, as we conceptually saw first and second chapters, he is not object, he is ever present, he is witness. That is Nirakara Nirguna aspect of our existence. When we purely in tune with our existential level, then that is what we are. But when we are completely detached, he also takes the responsibility to protect us, to educate us, like as a guru, also as a protector of the cosmos, and also as a guru. Chapter 4 in the beginning, Krishna says that. I taught this in the beginning of the creation. Then it's slowly forgotten, like that he explains. Jnana and karma I taught. Yoga. So Bhagavan is always interconnected with the elements of the matrix when he takes responsibility and to educate us. Okay. But so in the next class, actually this story has actually 6 messages. I will summarize slowly after we finish the story. I will summarize how God plays a role of sustaining us and teaching us and elevating us and also give us opportunities as we need in life. He is always connected to us as Ishvara also, in addition to being witness. Okay, so we'll take that in the next class. And of course, this chapter goes fast because they repeat similar thing, but it's very interesting. And at the same time, it's very inspiring if you really appreciate what it is teaching us. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vasishyate Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Sri Gurubhyo Namaha Harihi Om. Yes, very good question. Very good question. The basic premise here is, in this particular discussion, is that we forgot who we are. That's the premise. They forgot because Agni and Vayu, Indra, they all forgot. And they have taken ownership of something they are not owners of.
Ego,
so,
right?
The idea here is to direct our attention to the truth, which is changeless, ever existing support.
Mm-hmm.
Any victory or loss Labha labho jaya jayo. Tato yuddha vijasva nayam papam avapsasi. Sri Krishna chapter 2. Tato nayam papam, whether victory or failure, jaya ajayo, he says. Victory or defeat. We always acknowledge it is you who gave me this prasada. I'm only acceptor of the result, but karma phala is karma. I'm only karma karta, but you are the real karta. As prarabdha comes to me, I have to do active life. But if I take ownership, that prarabdha becomes more vasanas.
Right.
So basically, when I say prarabdha, what we face in life is prarabdha. How we face it is more important. Really 10%, prarabdha, how we face it is much more important than what we face. We cannot avoid what we face. We are born with a particular family, with a particular genes, with a particular situations in life, and place and time, all that stuff. But so we have to accept this. The prarabdha will come whether you like it or not. But how we face it is the message. How we face it. You have to face gracefully with a surrender and also accepting it as a prasada, not as I did it, I did it, I did. Then who am I becomes that ego. That's the key. That ego is never meant to be independent. If you don't understand that ego is really when it diluted state, it is self, pure being. That you can feel 24/7, then you understand rest of it is just instruments. They're only they are going through prarabdha. They're just going through the prarabdha. The body is born, so it has to die. So in the five definitions of consciousness, we mentioned avipariya, avikariya. It does not change. Body changes. Anything that changes is not self. So who am I question is really applicable for those who understood the message. Chidananda Rupaha, Shivoham, Shivoham. Then Sri Krishna, right in the beginning he says, I'm not ego, I'm not that. He negates all of them. Isn't it? And then he says, Shivananda Rupaha, Shivoham, Shivoham. So you cannot say the body I am, then we misunderstood it. First, that experience has to be connectivity within our heart. Then the rest of it should become only as transactional value, not what you call absolute value.
Right. Yeah. Basically, my question, what I was trying to observe is I was what I'm trying to these days try to check or inquire is into my consciousness, right? So I mean, if you the same way that you said, if we even listen to Nirvana Shatakam, all those 6 verses say, I'm not this, I'm not this, I'm not this, I'm not this, right? So what am I then? So then I am just consciousness. So now so I guess the question or the doubt I have is if we are supposed to inquire about who am I, and if that is consciousness, what methods do we employ, or what practices should we do to figure out that, or is it is it possible to identify your consciousness? Like, is it possible to sit down and say, I'm not this face, I'm not this body, I'm not my achievements, I'm not what I'm doing. There is something else, which the first verse of Kenopanishad, right? And the eye of the eyes, mind of the mind, ear of the ears, right? So how is it possible to experience that?
You are that. Basically, no need to experience.
Accept it, then,
itself
right?
drops. See, water, the waves, the moment it realizes it's water, then it doesn't have to have question anymore. Where is water? It doesn't even question anymore.
Right.
Basically, be yourself, that is Shiva.
Yeah, I did.
Come to the world for transactional purposes.
Right.
Because you see, basically, Vidyaranya Bhagavan Vidyaranya is a Mahapurusha. Basically, he says we had Chidabhasa. Chidabhasa means temporary enlivening process of body, mind, intellect. It's Chidabhasa.
Mm-hmm.
It is actually borrowed light.
Mm-hmm.
But Chidabhasa directly as a light, it is Shiva.
Right.
But if you, as the moment you only separate it out from the rest, from the consciousness, it becomes Chidabhasa. It illumines body, mind, intellect.
Right. Yeah.
And the reason it illumines body, mind, intellect is you want it. When you say, who am I, your mind stops at the body level.
Mm-hmm.
Or your mind stops the mind level, or intellect level, or ego level.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I'm inquiring,
Yeah.
I'm inquiring, I'm inquiring. But nothing is happening. This is all commentary.
Mm-hmm.
When you realize Atman, you realize it. Finish. Misunderstanding is removed. Everything is Atman.
Mm-hmm.
Right now, we are thinking Atman, reflected consciousness is Atman.
Right. So basically,
Because of the Atman only, reflected consciousness is also possible.
mm-hmm.
But identification is also possible. It's an element in the matrix.
Right.
But it's part of the matrix.
Right.
If you're identified as element, then you become element.
Right.
Just
So basically,
go ahead.
What I was thinking is, if we can find, the root cause of suffering. The root cause of suffering is either desires or
Yes.
anxieties and things like that. So
Millions of
maybe
them.
if we identify those desires and say, okay, what is this? This is related to this, which is my body, or this is related to this, my
the
mind.
definition I gave, the 5 of them indicators.
Okay.
If it is an object of your mind or body or intellect, it is not you.
It's not you. It's not you. Okay.
If it is changing, it's not you.
Yeah. So every question,
It is
every time
temporary,
you are
comes
sad.
and goes, it is not you.
Right. Oh,
If it's all pervading, ever existent.
If it's a different subject, it's not you.
Right.
Yeah. Makes sense.
Om Namo Narayana. Sadgunath Maharaj ki jai. Hari Om.